All right, guys, so today I'm going to take you through making one of my favorite prep meals, off-season meals, whatever. You can eat this any time of the year, but even if you're a week out from a show, this is a completely prep-friendly meal. We're not adding any substantial calories or anything like that. So first, we're gonna take you to the grocery store, kind of show you all the necessary ingredients for this, which are pretty simple staples that probably 99% of bodybuilders already have at home, except for maybe a few things, but are definitely gonna be common foods to your diet, rice, meat, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna take you to the grocery store, kind of show you all the things that I get to prepare this meal, and then we're gonna whip it together and show you guys how it's done. So catch you soon. All right, so we're at the grocery store here. We're gonna get all the ingredients for the dish we're making. Kind of what we're going for is like a fried rice, and I put some pineapple in it. You don't need to do the pineapple if that doesn't kind of fit your diet. So really what we're looking for here is pineapple, in my case, rice, some sort of meat. You can do this with a ground turkey, ground chicken, chicken breast, chicken thigh if you want, ground beef, whatever, steak, doesn't really matter, whatever. I mean, you could even do this, I've actually even done this with salmon, so whatever you want, anything will work in this. We're gonna get chicken breast in this case because I have a ton of ground turkey at home already. And then we need rice, we need green onion, soy sauce you can use, or coconut aminos, either one's gonna be good. We're gonna get pineapple first because we're with that end, get the green onion, and we'll kind of work our way through, so. Get a decent one. Half the time these are like dead and wilted in the grocery store, so that's a good one. So the green onion we're gonna be just using as like a topping. I mean, if anyone's followed me on Instagram and seen my cooking meals, cooking food, I put green onion on almost everything. It's just like a good addition for some flavor and a little bit of texture change that you can do on any of your meals with not adding any calories or anything like that. So if you haven't done before, I definitely recommend just slicing them up really fine, kind of tossing them on your meal. Definitely elevates it for sure. All right, sometimes I actually get these little cucumbers too. If you don't like onion, or even if you want to add something else green onto there, cutting up these little cucumbers on there can be a really good addition as well. So like I said, just for kind of a texture change crunch, put something green on there, make it look a little prettier. Sometimes I'll cut those up in small cubes and kind of add that on as well. So you can try that. All right. So like I said, you can do this with any kind of meat that you want. I have a ton of ground turkey and ground beef at home already, so we're gonna get some chicken breast to do it. We'll show you when we're preparing it, but I'll kind of slice it up thin and kind of toss it in there, so. All right, so we're gonna be putting this on rice. That's gonna be our carb source in this. You can do it any way you want. I use jasmine rice mostly. If you like basmati, if you like quinoa or fucking brown rice or something weird, you can do it whatever you want. I like jasmine rice. The reason I usually use jasmine rice is I find it stays the best in the fridge. It's a little more moist after you reheat it. If you get basmati, sometimes if you're reheating it, it just gets super, super dry after the fact and just becomes really shitty to eat. And most bodybuilders are preparing in advance. So I get jasmine rice. Any one really works. I don't really care which one. So I think this is usually the guy I get here. I'll slap a bag of that in there. And as I said before, you can use coconut aminos. I know a lot of people like those. I can't seem to find them here. This isn't where we usually get them, or soy sauce. Either one, they taste very similar. Some people prefer one or the other. Melissa likes to use coconut aminos. I do prefer soy sauce a little bit more. So we're gonna get some soy sauce here, kind of whatever you like. I usually get the Kikkoman stuff. Get one of these here. And then I also have sriracha at home, which I already have. It's what I usually put on it just for like a little extra spice and flavor is like my condiment on top. But you can do anything that kind of suits that like Asian stir fry vibe will work. What else could you use as a topping on that? She's sneaking stuff in here. But yeah, I usually use the sriracha. I mean, any kind of hot sauce. I don't know what else people use. I think ketchup on might be kind of weird.
Ketchup?
I don't know. What do people use? You wouldn't put a mustard on it.
You would put nothing on it. That's what the soy sauce is for.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I guess
you
you
have
just
a
use
problem with
I
sriracha.
I just love.
He has an addiction.
I have an addiction to sriracha, and honestly, I wish it was spicier. I've kind
You
of like.
should tell them how many bottles of sriracha we go through.
We'll
That's
probably go
fucking
through
insane.
probably 2 a week.
Like disgusting.
Probably go through 2 bottles of sriracha a week. I did get one here because I have a new one open, but
Because I keep them stocked
Yeah.
in the pantry.
we have an
because of how many you use.
inventory of sriracha. So yeah, if you like sriracha and you like a little spice, you can add that on. But like we said, we are cooking this in soy sauce or coconut aminos, and we are putting the veggie on it and the pineapple and stuff. So you don't need any more sauce than that for sure. But I like to have a little spice on basically every meal I had, so I definitely add that. All right, so we just got back. This is everything we got. You kind of saw as we went. And the good thing about this is like a very cost-effective meal. All this was like $50 Canadian, $60 Canadian for this, which is like $10 American. But this is 8 kilos, sorry, 20 pounds. 8 kilo bag of rice. This will last you a while. Like this is gonna last you, even if you're eating a lot, like weeks to a month. I got a good bit of chicken here. I mean, obviously if you're eating a lot of chicken, you're gonna go through a lot, but you know, for me now, this is probably a couple days or a week's worth of chicken. The pineapple is gonna last me a while. The soy sauce is gonna last forever. And then, you know, the veggies are like $1 for these kind of things. So super cheap. So, I mean, you know, you can get a good amount of food here for very, very cost effective, good, cheap price. So yeah, we're gonna get cooked up. First, obviously you gotta put your rice on, get your rice cooked. I think I might have some rice cooked, but maybe cook some fresh rice. Get our chicken cooked, and then we'll kind of go from there and show you how it's done. All right, so we got the rice cooking over there. We're gonna cut up some of this chicken. I like to cut this like pretty small. Like I like to eat it with a spoon. If you're spoon people, fork people, I know this is a fucking huge debate, but I'm a spoon guy, especially with these kind of rice-based meals. Obviously, if I'm eating like potato and chicken or something, I'm gonna use a fork. But this, I like it easy, just to shovel it in. I like meals I can eat with a spoon. So I'm gonna cut this up pretty small. So I just kind of like do it into strips like this. So I'll get them into small strips. Like that. So I got like 4 or 5 strips here. And then I just will kind of chop that up. So like that, and then you just got like nice little kind of cubes like this. So I'll do a couple chicken breasts like that. I'm sure there's someone that knows much more safe and efficient ways to cut meat than I do, but this is pretty quick. I'm yet to cut any fingers off. Okay. Now with this, it really depends how much of this you want to prepare. You know, if you're gonna account for exactly how much rice you're putting in with how much meat you're gonna put in, you know, or one meal at a time kind of fried up, this can also be done with pre-prepared chicken and rice. Like in most cases, I'll already have chicken cooked in the fridge, already have rice cooked, and then I'm gonna put it in the pan, kind of stir fry it together. That can absolutely be done. Obviously in this case, I don't have chicken cooked, so I'm gonna cook the chicken first, and then I'll weigh my chicken after the fact with how much I want in the meal, and then I'll stir fry it in with my weight amount of rice. So, but you could also, like if you're say in the off season, you wanna just prepare a bunch of this, you know, you could take 1,000 grams of rice and 1,000 grams of chicken or whatever, stir fry it all together, put it in the fridge, and then kind of weigh it out. And you're not going to be getting perfect every meal, but you'll be pretty damn close if you mix it in pretty good. So, but yeah, I like to do the chicken, the rice separate, then I'll put them together, stir fry them together with the soy sauce and all that we're going to show you. So yeah, get this chicken cooked up first, and then we'll mix it all together. All right, get our chicken in the pan here. It's hot. Oop. Good. Now for this chicken, when I'm doing it like this, I don't season it other than salt because I'm going to be doing other things to add the flavor. Most of the time, if I'm cooking chicken that's not going to be used in this capacity, I will season it. And like I said before, if you're going to be using chicken that you already have cooked to do this, seasoned chicken will taste perfectly fine. No matter what seasoning you put on this, it's usually pretty good. You know, the soy sauce and all this stuff will kind of take over as the overarching flavor here. So if you already have chicken cooked and you don't want to cook fresh chicken, just salted or whatever for this, don't worry, it'll be perfectly fine. But in this case, because I'm cooking this for this, I'm just gonna salt it only. So get out my salt, big sea salt guy, you know. Good. All right, we'll let that cook up. All right, so we're gonna add the soy sauce now. The chicken's almost cooked, so we're gonna add a bit of this to the chicken. We got the Kikkoman. It's good, good vintage, good year here. Delicious. There we go. Add a bit of that, and then we'll kind of just cook this until we get most of the moisture out. All right, so we got this chicken done here. Most of that's kind of evaporated up. Looks nice. So we're gonna get that to the side. We're gonna get our rice measured out, and then we're gonna weigh out our amount of chicken. Then we're gonna put it back in the pan, kind of do all our bits and bobs there. So get a bowl, grab some rice, spoon. So right now I'm doing about 250 grams of rice in a meal. Nothing too crazy. So we'll get that measured up there. Oh, I do that almost every single time. I should probably just put the bowl closer, but I haven't learned my lesson. 252. That'll do. Side note too, for anyone who hasn't seen that, I posted this before. If you got a bit of extra cash and you want to get a really nice rice maker, if you cook a lot of rice, these KitchenAid automatic rice cookers are like the greatest thing ever. And look, I know people are gonna be like, yo, rice is so fucking easy. A regular rice maker works. You just flip it on, it shuts off. I agree. It's super easy. But I was at Fancy Seabum's house and he had this rice maker and I used it and I'm like, I have to have this. This thing's awesome. So you basically, it'll measure the rice and the water. It's got a tank of water on the side. And it'll just, you put in rice, it'll auto distribute the right amount of water and it cooks it perfectly every time. You can cook it if you want it like softer, medium, hard, whatever. It can cook a million different things in there, not just like white rice. But yeah, it's great. I think they're about 250 bucks. It's definitely not cheap, but they're amazing. You know, you just put the full tank of water, put your rice in, click start. It'll do all the weighing and make it perfectly. And it makes it perfect every single time. So definitely awesome. All right, so we're gonna weigh the chicken here too. I got my 250 grams of rice. I'm doing about 200 grams of chicken right now. 200 grams of meat in a meal, so we'll get that there too. All right, so that's like that. I'm just gonna put this rest of this chicken in a Tupperware and then we're gonna get it back in the pan. So, all right, so we got my weighed out meat here and rice. We're gonna add that back into the pan. Deadly sound there. Okay, get this all mixed up nice. Okay, and then we're gonna get a bit more of that soy sauce in there to get into the rice because this is like a stir fry. Such a messy cook. I get shit like literally all over the place. I'm terrible at this. Just clean it up after, you know? Get that soy sauce mixed right through. Probably get a little bit more in there. Now everything here is already cooked, so I'm not trying to cook anything, just heat it up and get that soy sauce kind of worked in well. Okay, pretty simple. And we're gonna get that back in my bowl. Try and not make a humongous mess in the meantime. There we go. Good. Turn the burner off, don't burn my house down. Okay, all right, now we're gonna cut up some of our green onion. So I like to chop these very fine. So I try and get them as fine as I possibly can. It's probably good enough there. I get that. I just garnish that all over. Makes it look pretty, that's for sure. There you go. And then I get one of these, trick I learned recently. This is probably the simplest thing ever, but I always used to do it this way first, but I guess it's obviously a lot easier to go like this, and then like this, and then you have all your 4 sticks, and then you just kind of, okay, get some of that cucumber on there. Good. And now if you were someone that was gonna add the pineapple, this is where I would cut the pineapple and add it in as well. You can add it in the pan too if you wanna mix it up. I don't like the pineapple like warm. I like it when it's cold and a little more fresh. But if you wanna mix it up, get the soy sauce in there as well. It's great. I mean, if you go to a lot of like stir fry places, they'll put the pineapple in beforehand. I personally don't do it that way. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of pineapple cut up here. I have no idea how people cut pineapple when it's in a ring like this to like make it look good. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it here. So then we're just gonna get some pineapple on there. I have to clean every surface of my kitchen after this. All right, that's probably good like that. Maybe a little bit more. And then let me just grab my sriracha. So just like that, and then I'll just garnish this. Garnish this? Do you say you garnish with a condiment? Put sriracha. I like a good spice, so I get a good amount of sriracha on there. And there we go. Looks nice at least. All right, where's my spoon? All right, so we got it all cooked up. Looks very pretty. And like I said, this is something you can eat great in the off season, you know, even if you want to add some olive oil in this, if you want to add some extra fats, it's great. But during a prep, I mean, you're getting no really extra significant calories from your soy sauce, the green onion, the cucumber. That's all pretty prep friendly. I would eat that stuff right up to the day of the show. Obviously, you're getting the sugars and the carbs and the calories in the pineapple. So that would be kind of depending on your diet. I know a lot of guys do have pineapple or some kind of fruit in their diet most of the time. But if it's not, this meal is great without it. I eat it all the time without the pineapple, but I love it with the pineapple. And it, maybe to people like that are like the pineapple on pizza people, this might sound weird, but it's amazing. I mean, it definitely adds like a sweetness and freshness to it. Works really well with the soy sauce and with the other greens in there. So I'm going to get this down the hatch, and then we're going to go train some chest today. So thanks for tuning in, guys.